terms of the heroes themselves.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Enchantress is such an ultra aggressive hero, and this is a hero that can scale into the late game as well.
Yeah.
We've seen so many times before. But yeah, now that Snake King is on Bane, you're not going to be... I don't think you can get the same farm as Murano.
No, that is not happening. That is definitely not happening. But the thing about Ench is, in certain matchups and certain lanes this hero dominates, this doesn't seem like the type of lane that's likely going to happen. You're playing into level 2 tag team with a Wind Ranger, and together with a Centaur. I don't think you are going to be putting all that much pressure, but you're definitely going to get a lot of farm onto a Mar.
Yep, and we've seen the Centaurs kind of take... I mean, if he doesn't go Heart first, Cinder, and I'll be shocked. Or Radiance, or something weird.
They go Helm of the Dominator into Midas.
Okay, well...
A real Amar would
into
go
Midas.
That would be real.
Whoa, wow.
That's a real Amar build, isn't it?
That's equivalent to double Midas. That's excellent.
Helm of the Dominator, Midas, Battle Fury.
Yeah, I mean, Helm is, I guess, standard at this point.
You just buy it.
Get it literally every single game. Understandable. Actually makes me miss Marcy a little bit. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. That was the original Helm when that came back.
Yeah.
Be able to bounce off of that one.
I would argue it's surprising that we've seen her, I believe, 0.
My sight reveals the High Priestess has secrets to share. Why heed what I say? A purely rational mind.
Off though. Crit also here, but Alpha Wolf a little bit too late to the party, but be able to pressure the tower. Going to keep that siege alive a little bit longer now that this wave catches up.
Yeah, this is a key timing for multiple reasons for Falcons. As you mentioned, the siege creep. Malrine also cracked level 6, so they wanted to put the Laguna to use to get a kill and the tower. They're going to settle for Boxy.
Yep. Laguna is there. Boxy staying alive with the Lotus, but the Brain Sap and the right clicks are enough as Malrine will secure first blood and the tier 1 at 6.5 minutes. Very, very fast play here from Falcons. Nisha, first magnetized of the game onto Snake King. Gonna get the roll in as well. That's a kill, so some good retribution. Actually gets a bushwhack as well onto Malrine, onto the single tree there. TP's out successfully. But they do save the tower.
This form suits my purpose. Certainly. Brouhaha! Yes. I will. I charge ahead.
30 seconds to battle.
Correct. Look there. I'm under attack. The peace is broken. Between the plains. Onward. I run rampant. The beast of all worlds. Of course. As suggested. One world is much like another. Indeed. Go for me. The way is clear. Upon this plane, you've got my dander up. Confound you. Yes. I have been sent. Yes. Yes. Oh no. I charge ahead. Indeed. Between the plains. First blood. I have the scent. The way is clear. Onward. With a fury. I'm under attack.
Your middle tower is under attack.
One world is much like another. Look there. I will. Certainly. Well met. All paths to conflict. Correct. Yes. What's the ruckus? Of course. Rampage. Upon this blade, the beast of some beast of all worlds. Correct. All paths lead to conflict. Break you down. I'll settle this. Attack. Defense. Certainly.
Your middle tower is under
The
attack.
flames. Onward. Yes.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
I'm seriously tired of this place.
I charge. It's much like another. The way is clear. It's all coming together. Of course. Indeed. I have the scent. Yes. Upon this plane. Look there. Correct. Upon this plane. I charge ahead. Look there. One world is much like another. kill! Of course. I'm sorry, who are you again? I'm sorry, who are you again? I run rampant. The beast of all worlds. Between the plains. All paths.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen. Dire structures are fortified.
Fuel for my fire.
I ascend. Bring you down. Indeed. Yes. Yes. Application. What's the bracket?
Your top tower is under attack.
Yes. Indeed. I am the scent. Going stealthy. Look there. As suggested. I charge ahead.
Fall at my feet, peasant.
Onward. Of course. The beast of all worlds. All paths lead to conflict. Attack! Death! I'm under attack! Upon this plane.
fortified.
Look at me! Quit! Look at me! Quit!
I run rampant.
Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack.
Between the plains. All paths lead to conflict. Indeed. The way is clear.
The enemy's top tower has fallen.
Endurance run! I'm under attack! Look there! The beast of all worlds! As suggested. I have their scent. Certainly. I'll settle this.
Your middle tower is under attack.
One word. Endurance run! Yes. Upon this plain. Between the plains.
Your top tower is under attack.
Rip and rock. Glorious grace and you beyond. Of course. Rampage. Onward. Certainly. all worlds. Yes. Between the plains. I will. Correct. Look there.
Money to burn. Your top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are
Upon this
fortified.
plane.
You were doing very well. I'm very
Your
proud.
middle tower is under attack. The enemy's bottom tower has fallen. Your middle tower
I
has
run
fallen.
rampant. Onward. Indeed. As suggested. Yes. I charge ahead. Sprint.
Your top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Look there. All paths lead to conflict. One world is much like another. Correct. The beast of all worlds. I have their scent.
Your middle tower is under attack.
between the plains. Beast of all worlds. Quick sprint. Down. I run round. One world much like another. Indeed. Pain. Not yet.
Roshan has fallen to the dire.
Immortality.
I charge ahead.
Your top tower is under attack.
Haha! Augmentation! Yes,
Your top tower is under attack.
onward.
Your top tower is under attack.
Between the plains.
Blown away.
Fade away.
Brouhaha! Time yet. I will. Time yet. Now, walk between the plains. Upon this plain. Yes. Correct.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Just Beast of all worlds.
The enemy's top tower has fallen.
Upon this plain. Look there. Not yet.
The enemy's top barracks has fallen.
Onward.
The enemy's top barracks has fallen.
Sanj and Yasha. Monster kill! The eye of the storm.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
I will. I run rampant. Illusion with a fury. Attack is the best defense. Yes. Indeed. Goes within me, as suggested. I charge ahead. One world is much like another.
The enemy's middle barracks has fallen. The enemy's middle barracks has fallen.
Rip and run. Look there. As suggested.
Dire structures are fortified. The enemy's bottom tower has fallen. The enemy's bottom barracks has fallen. Radiant structures are fortified.
Between the blades.
We now have mega creeps. The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
I run rampant.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen. Dire victory.
returned much sooner than the magician manifests before us. Ah, the magician, upright and shit.
Sure, Boxy or Tofu will happily take it to a support role if the draft dictates, that needs to happen.
I mean, there's also something I feel like it's really important for
area, because a lot of the heroes that are getting banned out in this series in particular seem to be supports. I mean, on the side of Falcons this game anyway, they banned out the Mirana, the Keeper of the Light, obviously Tree and Protector. I don't think we can even, like, I don't think we even mentioned Tree and Protector once.
What's the point?
Today?
Yeah, he's not
He
getting
just
through.
get banned every time. Ooh, wouldn't that be like throwing in a wrench, letting the Tree in through, or is that a bit too risky for elimination?
That's way too much for a game 3 lower bracket at TI, right? Like the hero that gives global damage block, insta vision, invisibility just to run around and do anything, BK piercing kind of roots and shenanigans.
Never mind. I never mentioned the Tree.
I mean, maybe there's some ulterior play where you trade it for a Largo who can lick double lowers the.
Maybe.
No, sorry, no.
No, I don't think we'll see it. But yeah, I think the support pool is extremely wide. I just think it's about having a combination of them that gives you
the right partnership, I would say.
Yeah, my problem is it feels like the Spirit Breaker was like too much of an overreaction to a bounty, and then this game you have like Ancient Bane and Snake King's not comfortable on Bane, and it's so often we see a bunch of other supports that went ignored, like Wyvern, Shadow Demon, Dark Willow have been great. I love Dark Willow, by the way. I think that hero makes your game so easy. I think she deals with so many mid heroes. I think she breaks smokes so easily because she can get out in a billion ways. She can itemize super freely. This support is fantastic and is going pretty ignored.
Yeah, I mean, Willow is always kind of the underrated hero. I kind of put her in the same kind of department as like a Grimstroke, where you kind of forget about what the hero does, but in team fights, it offers so much control and so much kind of random shenanigans you have to deal with.
Yeah, we saw it quite a bit in the group stages, but that was mostly against Lone Druids because it's good against the bear, and then it makes sense. We, speaking of Lone Druid, have not yet seen the bear here in this series, not in the bans nor in the picks. Curious to see if that's a trend that's going to continue. But I'm sure that if there was any strategies that the teams still had, they are about to come out.
Team Liquid versus Team Falcons. Game 3.
Everything on the line. Game 3, an elimination series here. Lower bracket of the International here on stage. Team Liquid and Falcons. One of these two teams is going home. And I'm going to repeat myself from what I said in that previous series. For both of these teams, getting eliminated here is considered a big failure. Yeah, top 8's great and all that, but these teams are playing for more than that. We got ourselves a draft. It's Falcons on the Radiant side, Team Liquid on the Dire side. First pick going the way of Team Liquid. Earth Spirit once again where he belongs on the bans. Bounty Hunter still removed from the pool as well. And the hero left in that we have seen every series so far, every game so far rather, in this series is Lina. We'll see if that's where Team Liquid wants to take this one.
Kotal has been freed from prison.
Freedom achieved.
Yeah.
Is
I
that
guess
the
they have
only
a
one?
big
Yeah.
choice now.
Ooh, they just go for the Centaur straight up.
I mean, it's also like a block pick. I feel like Liquid just wants to get it over with because Ace has like 1 or 2. Go to the carries lane a lot.
Well, on top of that, maybe they'll prevent Lina from getting picked up because Lina doesn't like facing Centaur.
Yeah, I mean, it's anything with gap close or run away, right? The idea of, you know, what if Falcons want to play another Razor game, right? And in the game 3, how well it worked in game 1. If you preemptively take Centaur, you have Stampede, you might push Falcons away from that flexibility. But Skidder gets all the way up to a first phase Lifestealer. The hero that has been banned out quite often as a response within the series, but now he gets it put here. Is there a world where, you know, Tofu will go, just give me Centaur Pods 5, let's do some weird shenanigans to try and beat this Lifestealer?
Let's put Nisha back mid with Centaur also?
No.
Okay, well, I tried, guys.
No
I
offense
tried.
to all the mid Centaur players, but I feel like Nisha is a bit of a mechanical button clicker. That Centaur might be, you know, a step below his, you know, his caliber. No offense, Marine. But anyways, yeah, I feel like Liquid maybe can do some shenanigans. They might not even need to be fair.
They're gonna
Again,
pick supports that can counter the Lifestealer. Usually the counters for Lifestealer are the supports. The SD, the Wyvern,
yeah.
the Tusk, the Clockwork.
just buy time during Rage to then make him feel like he has to disengage or waste Infest.
And there are a lot of options here. We'll have to see. And Falcons, they're going to be able to ban some out and pick one of them, potentially. I think the Tusk is still a very, very big hero here. I think both teams are kind of like definitely looking at it. Tusk, Hoodwing, these are the two heroes that come to mind right now. Very good picks right away.
Yeah, if we're saying that we have a bit of more focus on which support duos are going to come out, you generally would expect them to come out in the mid portion where you can make sure you get the combo you want.
You have to break them apart because right now there's Tusk and Hoodwing. If you don't ban either of them, you do not want Liquid to have the Tusk and Hoodwing later. So you need to pick at least one of them. And I'm feeling that they might have a higher tendency of going with the Hoodwing.
Okay.
Ooh, the Crystal Main,
okay, this is
sneaking
a
special.
sneaking special.
I mean, first of all, I like the respect ban on the Wind Ranger. We already said how it complicates the game. You don't really want Lifestealer to have to think about, again, MKB. Also, getting the Lifestealer to right-click it, impossible. And now Crystal Maiden. You Frostbite a Stampede. All right. You're not running away. You're rooted.
Good luck laning into Hoodwing first. You know, you have to get past the lane. You know, Crystal Maiden, not the best laner.
Yeah.
It's a very greedy hero.
Yeah. I mean, as long as the pulse 4 has a lot of pressure, then yes, I can see Lifestealer. He tries to step up to wave, you get Stomp, Double Edge, plus whatever spells that 4th position has, you are going to...
I mean, I still just feel like they just picked the Tusk and Hoodwink here. Both supports are just really nice in this situation, and maybe you could decide the laning phase later, but most likely you want the Centaur with the Hoodwink. I mean, the early game is just going to be very difficult for the CM. Like, CM is just a very abusable hero.
They'll get the Lina. And the Centaur Lina is a combination that a lot of teams have been liking.
The nice thing though with CM is like you have incredible map play. Like with the Shard, you're always shoving waves, you're always like finding economy out of nowhere, and Snaking's going to be able to utilize that nicely. So he's not on a Bane anymore feeling lost on the map. He's on a Crystal Maiden. He likes being able to play these heroes that get that additional item that can, you know, have that 4-star. That
someone else has to fill that role, you know. Like what other hero on Pulse 4 can legibly do it right now? There's no Hoodwink.
I mean, I kind of want to see something to deliver Lifestealer to the enemy team, whether that comes from their mid or like a Clockwork here is unbanned still.
Oh yeah, it's Clock, Tusk.
There's still Dark Willow as well if you do just want to go more spellcasting supports and like play team fight. I think it's annoying for like Centaur who wants to buy 1 billion items and get tanky to play into these roots.
Hard to run away when you're all rooted up for anyone. They'll get that Clockwork that you mentioned at the start though. Another signature hero from Crit. And a Razor to follow it up with.
Yeah, so they're protecting the Razor by having 2 supports have incredible containment against Stampede, be it through Cogs or, you know, some hook shot, Frostbite. Like, there's enough tools now that Razor goes, okay, if I'm jumping a guy, support follow me and we will get this kill. And Lifestealer, he doesn't mind. There's so much aggression in the first 3 heroes that once he gets his Radiance, he'll slot in behind that and go, all right, guys, where are we going?
I mean, if there was ever a Morphling game, this is a Morphling game. Razor, Lifestealer. Yeah, I mean, you pick Morphling and then you finish the draft with an ET.
Do you think that's too greedy of a Tricore?
I see Morphling. It's greedy, but I can see Morphling like just doing so much in this game. And they have Centaur to hold out the early game. Like you are going to attract a lot of attention from the enemy. You're going to play the map. You're going to force them to rotate to you. And the Morphling is going to farm. And Lina is also going to be a problem. Lina is also another hero they have to address. You know? So there's a lot of problems. So even though Morphling could be greedy, it might not be so easy for Falcons to actually punish the hero.
Would you pick that here, or would you leave that Lina as an option that is still flexible and go for another support player here? Never mind. It's
the arena like
similar to the Morphling because it's very good against both the Razor and the Lifestealer. I was also kind of thinking about it. Like it's very greedy, but in the lane you have the jump, so you dissuade the Razor off lane to pressure, and late game you have the Chrono against the Lifestealer.
It looks like an XG draft, guys.
Yeah, it definitely does.
That's why the crowd liked it so much.
Ah, potentially so.
I mean, this feels like a staple, like Faceless Void lineup. You have 2 heroes that are gonna be happy to nuke and do damage into your Chronosphere, and it counters the enemy team. I like this so much. The only thing I'm thinking is your remaining hero for Falcons is probably going to be Malrine, who is really good at playing these control heroes. Like we might see a Shaker, we might see a Sand King. I think both of these heroes could really pressure the map hard and make it uncomfortable for Faceless Void to play, who is typically quite slow.
I mean, they're covering their bases. I like this ban. They ban out the Doom because I feel like Doom is a really good matchup into Faceless Void in the lane in the game, and they could potentially move the Razor to mid. So they have to make sure that they cover all the heroes that could potentially punish the Faceless Void here.
It kind of helps though for Liquid that if they are to, let's say, hit a Chrono where they don't get a kill and then there's some kiting available from Falcons, they don't have the heroes that instantly, you know, break Roshan, go high ground, and the game's over in one failed Chrono, right? Like this feels like the type of game that it can go back and forth. It can go, you know, the length of, you know, a full 60+ minute game. Of course, Liquid being a lot more comfortable the longer the game goes.
Yeah, the pressure is going to be on Falcons once you have this CM Clockwork though. You are the ones that have to, you know, attack, and you have to try to make sure that Liquid does not get to just sit back and farm, because it's very obvious that they just want to sit back and farm. It's the deciding game. You do not want to put yourself in a position where you are pressured, you know, to make plays, to attack. I think it's always easier to play the defending side when you're playing a tie-breaking game or a deciding game.
Yeah, I'd like a drop more wave clear though from Liquid. Because if the game does get difficult...
I actually think they just need damage. I still like the ET here. ET into the Chronosphere and ET with Hoodwink and Lina. I think it's a fantastic pick here. Or maybe AA. I don't know if AA might work.
I
Okay.
wouldn't be complaining about that one.
If you want like +5 damage, then you go for like the Witch Doctor from Tofu, right? And then you just put like the Void together, you dilate, you maledict the guy.
Or you go for the Viper.
Yeah, no,
And
of
you put
course.
the Lina support.
Centaur support?
Centaur
Viper?
support?
Viper? I don't know. We'll find out.
Figure it out later.
It must
Go, it's all
be.
good.
It must be a Lina post-fort and
Yeah.
Viper mid.
We talked about the center support. It's an option. We'll see how it happens. Falcons, they still need one hero, and they also will be thinking about where this Viper is going. They need a hero still, I would imagine, for Malrine in that mid lane.
Mid Rubik. Is this a mid Rubik game?
Spicy.
What time are you trying to put Falcons on? It's like, don't win by 25 and then, you know, get the airport home. What the?
Oh man, the Viper makes the Razor's game so hard because
Yeah,
like,
but
we
what-
saw in game 1, he just wanted to run around with Refresher and then hit.
Yeah, it's so hard to pick the last hero here.
Yeah, your Viper's really good.
They really put up quite a puzzle there on the side of Liquid for Falcons to try and figure out with their overall last pick, whereas normally an overall last pick is seen as an advantage. I feel like this draft from Team Liquid makes their position just a tad bit stronger.
Like the Pangos, the Slardars, the heroes that can give a bit more
Yeah.
pacing to Falcons all get deleted
Yeah, kind
by
of-
the Viper, right? Because he just goes to mid lane.
I mean, you have to choose either you pick a hero that's good for the draft or you pick a hero to counter the Viper. So I don't think there's a hero that can fulfill both at the moment.
I mean, it's Malrine, just like go primal, skip the waves, and just
Sanking, skip the
Probably
wave.
Sanking.
Hey, we'll be
Yeah.
sad.
just full skip the wave, full ignore everything in life, and
Yeah.
then you come back into the game. But whew, I mean, for Falcons, like in the back of their minds, they know it's like one mistake, one like misitemization choice from their team, like Skid or Omar not being on the same page, not connecting with the damage, their draft will fall apart compared to the amount of scaling available on Liquid. And it is a position for Centaur and a off-lane Viper, so it's a melee body to enable the aggression of a Viper.
So that still means we're going to have Sand King versus Lina in the mid lane between Malrine and Nisha. And we talked a lot about the mid lane, how impactful it's been in the last 2 series. How do you feel that this matchup's going to play out?
So Sanking is going to not lane.
Okay.
He's going to try and grab the creep wave. He's going to try and drag it to the camps in the enemy's triangle and farm them. I think maybe you could see Tofu potentially like rotating to try and disrupt that. But when we see him play his best, he is able to just combine creep waves with camps, extra farm, get his items, and then rotate to the side lanes. It's going to be rough because you're going to have Skitter having the worst day of his life against Viper. So it's
That's a rough one.
Also,
Yeah.
luckily for Marine, though, it depends on the sentry warfare. Like, if he clutches up on the sentries, get the kill, and then there's no vision for Nisha, Marine can just play the lane quite... So many questions toward Falcons, because Liquid have kind of cooked up a draft that is like, if you don't answer these questions, we have the Void. Like, a Game 3 lower bracket Void, surely, probably statistically, normally wins.
A big question then, because this is a curveball, of course, that Team Liquid is throwing Falcons' way. Is there a curveball, Winter, that Falcons can throw in the terms of where the heroes go laning? Because
Nah, I think
No?
they just play their game. I, on the other hand, feel like Liquid has sacrificed a lot of their draft integrity just to pick this Viper to try and win the early game and win the laning phase, where I feel that's probably the part of the game where it doesn't put... it's not as important for them to do that, and I don't really like the last period, so I think Falcons are going to come away in this game.
well, I think this is going to be a spicy one, regardless of what's going to happen. I'm going to grab my support Largo and enjoy this one with the voices of Sunspan and Sinrin.
Thank you so much, Shiver. Game number 3 here at the International lower bracket. The last 2 champions here at TI. One of them's going home, Falcons versus Liquid. Without talking about the lineups quite yet, Cinderin, who's going to win? Give me your prediction so I can pick the opposite team, because we know you're going to be wrong.
Liquid.
Okay, that's an easy one. Very good. Thank you so much. Did you put any thought into that?
Yes.
Okay,
But
double check.
But you told me to not mention the draft, so I didn't. But that was part of the logic of why I picked them.
I see. Wow, such a logical young man you
it's
are.
smart, isn't it? But I just didn't have to mention it.
Using your brain.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things here that are really cool that I really like about Liquid's draft. Whether this is going to work out or not is obviously remains to be seen here. But I think this is a pretty genius Void pick. They saw that Falcons were trying to replicate what they did in Game 1 with Bounty Razor, and then they just swapped out the Bounty Hunter for a Clockwork on crit. So the idea is similar, where there's this hero that can flank and kind of box you in your own safe lane and dive you. So they pick a hero that has a relatively low cooldown jump, which is a classic solution to Razor. And in addition to that, they also they managed to grab this Viper block pick in a sense in the end to kind of force Falcons into a pick that we haven't seen from them very much, the Malrine Sand King. And then the Viper just isn't mid anyway. Now the Viper is going to lane into Lifestealer, which is a tough lane matchup for the Lifestealer. So in turn now, Falcons are going to try to counteract this by sending Lifestealer off lane on Skitter to try to lane dodge and get him into a more favorable matchup into the Void. And then they will have Razor against Centaur.
I don't know if they're going to stick to it.
Well, Centaur 4, Razor against Viper, I guess, more like it, but...
Try versus try right now in the bot lane, by the way.
I would love if this lane just stays a tri lane.
This is your
That'd be
dream,
awesome.
and nobody else's.
I miss tri lanes. Can I just say it? I miss tri lane, Shannon. And I'm not the only one. There's dozens of us.
You probably should not admit that out loud, Cinderin. It's not a good look for you. But it is a tri lane right now. Let's see how long that ends up being the case. It's already Snaking. He's going to get first blood as Ace will take him home. And that is, I mean, talk to me about the Crystal Maiden, because this hero has not been picked very much. Snaking has played a lot in the past, but has a lot of weaknesses.
Yeah, I think Snaking forgot how tri lanes work. Just never gets to play them. And if you're standing in that kind of position, you can get hundreds of zeros before you even get a spell off. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what guides Falcons when they pick this hero, if I'm honest. I think sometimes it makes a lot of sense. This time it almost felt like a filler. It was just, we need a solid lane 5 that is going to help Lifestealer get off to a decent start. But then at the end of the day, they don't even get to lane together. So, yeah.
Well, at the very least, the Sand King and Razor will get some nice mana regen from the CM, I suppose. One benefit.
Might also have been, you know, it's a pseudo counter to Stampede. Having a low cooldown route with long duration that CM has, it's good for the lane again. But there were so many layers to this draft where teams were countering the counter of the other team, so it never really... Now when you see it play out, the Crystal Maiden pick actually doesn't really look like it has much of an obvious CM-specific purpose. Just felt like a, you know, placeholder okay-ish 5. As now the lanes are breaking down and we're seeing some movement. Looks like Lifestealer will get to remain against the Faceless Void, which I think this is a very good piece of news for Falcons. I think these lanes could have been a lot worse if Liquid got to place them the way they wanted.
Viper Centaur lane. Very normal, of course. We have seen a couple of support Centaurs in the past, in this tournament, in fact, and it's actually been relatively successful, at least from the games that we've cast. I don't know what the actual win rate would be. I've yet to see a CM, though. Not sure if that's the case for the entire tournament or not, but very low pick rate, I'm sure.
Love watching Boxy on these in-your-face 4s. Saw him on the Tusk, now on the Centaurs. He's very good at taking initiative. Similarly, he plays a good Clockwork. Like, just heroes that go in, make stuff happen are his forte. So this makes a lot of sense to see on him. Mid lane,
we should speak about Faceless Void, because this is a classic TI hero.
Yeah.
And
we don't. It's a fan favorite.
Yeah, we don't get to see it all too often. Obviously, late game, complete monster. What has changed that matters with this hero versus, you know, older versions?
I mean, in essence, it's still pretty much the same hero, same strength, same weaknesses, right? Time Walk is extremely good against taking a lot of damage in a short period of time, but not dying, obviously. Chrono has the same strength and weakness as always. It's one of the strongest spells in the entire game, but it does no damage and has a mega long cooldown. So whenever it's not available, your hero is quite weak. And I think that's part of the problem that this hero has had for a long time is, depending on the pacing of the meta, if it's very slow, everybody just gets to farm, you don't have to fight for much, and you're kind of just chilling in lane and just farming 30 minutes, I think Void could be pretty good.
It feels like a lot of the games though, already, right?
It does, but it also has some atrocious lane matchups, right? So you also need to know your matchups. And if all of those conditions are met, I think the hero can be good, which is why I really liked it this game. You saw 2 core matchups that are good for you. You're probably anticipating the pace of the game will be rather slow. And your other 4 heroes, as you have ended up with now, can actually do quite a bit of stuff together. So I think it's fine. Yeah, But
Yeah, and late game versus Lifestealer, I don't think there's really much of a contest. Obviously, you have the Chrono that can just bypass the entire Rage effect, and the fact that it counters Amar, as we've talked about. So
speaking of Amar, Ace
onto
is
Ace.
cooked.
Uses the Lotus, will fall. His box is doing a good amount of damage to Amar. Looks like he'll get the trade. But yeah, I'm very interested to see if my assumption is if Liquid gets off to even just being even in the mid game, that they will be favored because they have Faceless Void. Is that a correct assumption?
I think there's a couple of X factors here. I think the Lifestealer matchup into Faceless Void is better than it used to be after you got the Ags Infest. I mean, now we're talking a few years at this point, right? I think Razor actually does okay against Void later in the game because you're so tanky, you don't necessarily die in a Chrono, and you get to make a turnaround play. And Sand King is one of those heroes that, with the right items, can have insane burst damage within a short window, and that's what you're looking for against Void. You need to either have overwhelming damage to kill him, you need to be survivable, or you need to do a lot of damage over time so he can't really just walk it off whenever he needs to. And I think between Sand King and Razor, you can actually kill Void even late game if Malrine is farmed enough. And didn't get to talk about that lane yet, but unsurprisingly, Malrine is just not laning, like the panel talked about. He's just going to be pulling waves and farming jungle camps. Nisha will be winning the lane as a result, at least slightly, and he'll get a nice little snack. Crit showed up and got Lagooned and Dragon Slave and just died. So that was a little freebie.
Indeed. Amar, level 3, by the way, on the Razor right now.
That is
not great.
Oh, they're boxing him out entirely with this Tofu rotation. This is super high impact. They're going to need some reinforcements.
Crit.
Yep.
Spot Tofu eventually. Oh, in the tree line, he goes to Plasma Kill, can spot him, but the Bushwhack comes out onto Amar, but the hook stomp to follow. The right click from the Viper as well. Amar certainly dead to the double edge as Ace is tanking the tower. Has to be a bit careful. Looks like he'll find the distance, and now Crit has to be the one to be a bit careful himself. We'll get to seconds. Looks like Malrine should get the kill, and he does. Cost them a CM, but Snake King's used to dying.
Yep. Did a lot of that in the second game.
He's going to have to get used.
stones will break their bones.
This one's in the bag.
In the bag.
Prepare for battle.
Attack. Tiny coming in. Rock on. Right away. Rolling. Of course.
Thirty seconds to battle.
Yes. I gather no loss. Rolling out. Forward.
The battle begins.
A rolling stone. Hard times coming.
Range of 4.
First blood. Better yours than mine. Head for the quarry. Of course. Forward. Rolling out. Sure. I'm under attack.
That didn't go the way I planned.
Yes. Right away. Rolling. Oh. I gather no loss. Head for the quarry. To be listened. Tiny coming out. You got
Are you even trying?
yeah. Rock on. Of course. Temperature.
Oh, we're just
Going.
getting started.
You got it. Right away. Head for the quarry. Denied. A rolling stone. Forward. Sure. Yes. Tiny coming in. Rolling out. I gather no loss. Rolling. You got it. course. Rock on. Right away. A rolling stone. Rolling out. Head for the quarry. Tiny coming in. Rolling. Head for the quarry. You got it. Of course. I got it. Right
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Thus our mountains rolling out. Tiny coming in.
Just as well.
Rockfall coming. Get 'em. Rock on. Rock Socko. A rolling stone. A rolling stone. Sure.
You're not quick enough.
Head for the quarry. Rolling. Crush 'em. Tiny coming in. You got it. Rock on. Rolling out. Of course. Double damage. Yes.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack.
Going. No deposit, no return. Right away. No hard feelings. Attack! Going! Yes!
Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack. Dire structures are fortified.
To the grindstone!
Your bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Your middle tower is under attack.
Sure, a chilling. Rolling out!
Your middle tower has fallen.
Right away. Forward. Of course. Head for the quarry. You got it. Right away. I gather no loss. Rock on.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Of course.
Dire structures are fortified.
Rolling out. Yes. A rolling stone. Going. Tiny coming in.
Your top tower is under attack.
Rolling. Head for the quarry.
Your top tower is under attack. The enemy's middle tower has fallen. Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower has fallen.
A rolling stone. Invisibility. Tiny coming in. You got it. Yes. Rolling out. Of course. Right away. Sure. Head for the quarry.
Your top tower is under attack. Your bottom tower has fallen. bottom tower is under attack.
A rolling stone. Yes. I got my capstone. Tiny smash. You got it. Going. I gather no loss. Rockfall coming. Sure. Of course. Rolling out. Rock on. Rolling. Tiny coming in.
The enemy's top tower has fallen.
Forward. Right away. Rolling. Rolling out. Going. Sure.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack.
Blown out on a cold wind.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
A rolling stone. Yes. Hard luck. Head for the quarry. I just mantle. You got it. Forward. Of course. I gather no loss.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Rolling. Rock. Tiny coming in.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen. attack.
Time to rock the boat. Sure. I'll get 'em. Going. Tiny coming in. Sure. You got it. I got home for me. Rolling. Here's a carbon footprint for you. Yes. My double kill. Unstoppable. Triple kill. Wicked ultra. Rolling stone. Of course. Head for the quarry. Rock on. Rolling out. You have got the stone.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
Rockfall coming. Invisibility. Going. Rolling out. A rolling stone. Rolling.
Oh, you thought you were winning?
Head for the quarry.
Appreciate it.
Rock on. Of course. Sure. I gather no loss. Of course. Rolling stone. Monster kill.
Radiant structures are falling.
Hardy, come
tower has fallen.
One stone got 2 birds in it. Head for the quarry! Right away. You got it. Yes. I gather no loss. Sure. Head for the quarry! Look at that! Tiny coming in! Forward! Going! Stone. Rock on. Rolling. I gather no loss.
The enemy's top tower has fallen.
You got it. Head for the quarry! Rolling out! Forward! Rock'em sock'em! Right away!
Radiant structures are fortified.
Back for more. Tiny, coming in. Going. I gather no. A rolling stone.
I know I should have swung the death.
Rock on! Double hits! Head for the quarry! Look out for fog rolling!
Silent seal.
Rolling out. I'll get 'em. Tiny, coming in. Right away. What have we here? Sure. A rolling stone. Right away. Double damage! I got well, look. Tiny, coming in. Going. Living low. Rolling. Rolling out. Head for the quarry. Onward. Rock on. Yes. I gather no loss. Forward. Yes. Sure. Behold! Of course. Rolling. No hard feelings. A rolling stone. Rolling out. Head for the quarry.
We have revenge tonight.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack.
Tiny, coming in! Of course. Rolling. Rolling out. Head for the quarry. Hard to be this good. Right away. Yes. You got it. No. Rolling out. A rolling stone. Of course. Right away. Head for the quarry. Rockfall coming! Going! Sure! Tiny! Coming in! Rolling! Rockfall coming! Forward.
tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower has fallen. Your middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower has fallen. Your top tower is under attack.
We'll take that.
Don't carve my headstone yet. Rolling. You got it. We have going. I gather no loss. Of course. Rock on. Rolling out. Your time above ground is over.
Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower has fallen. Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower has fallen. Your top barracks are under attack. Your top barracks has fallen. Dire structures are fortified. Your middle barracks are under attack. Middle barracks has fallen. Your middle barracks has fallen. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack.
A rolling stone. No deposit, no return. Tiny coming in. Yes. All coming. Head for the quarry. Of course. Sure.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Tiny coming in. Rolling. Of course. You got illusion. Forward. We are glory to settle. Yes. A rolling stone. I gather no loss. Rock, sock. Rock on. What have we here? Right away. Tiny coming in.
middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack. Your ancient is under attack. Dire structures are fortified. Your ancient is under attack. Radiant victory.
versus Team Vision. Game 1.
A win here for either of these teams means top 3 secured, and for Spirit, that would be an amazing accomplishment to be able to get back to. After winning TI in Seattle, we hadn't seen them on the main stage. They definitely fell below a lot of expectations, and now I do wonder, is the team that lost in group stages in a matchup going to come into this with an upper hand when it comes to a draft?
Yeah, so much has changed. The meta has shifted a lot. We talked about the break between the group stage and the main stage, and I think that comes into effect a lot here. You can see that by the Bounty Hunter first ban. That would not have even been in the game and anyone's thoughts in the group stage, but now this hero has risen to, I don't know, it just doesn't lose anymore, apparently. So the draft has definitely changed, so we'll have to see how it shakes out.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting that in the group stages, when Spirit lost to Team Vision, they lost twice to Earth Spirit. And they had this idea that they could beat it. I think in the series today, we're not going to see it be given away to either team. There's no idea of, oh, we're just going to let it through and play against it. I think that's a big takeaway for Team Spirit. On top of that, I think Lone Druid will be very contested in the series, where maybe other teams lost faith in him after his statistics in group stage, because he's been owning on the main stage.
Yatoro had an absolute pop-off on Lone Druid the other day, so for sure a hero for them to consider. I want to go back to the Bounty Hunter, because I think this hero being so popular actually hurts Vision, because it fits their playstyle. We talked about 9 class coming into today, and he is a very unique player that likes to play unique heroes, and the reason that is so successful is because people don't really know how to play against it. He's a lot more comfortable playing that position than anybody else going up against it, but now one of his favorite heroes is becoming a popular hero. Everybody's going to play it, and it's getting banned out immediately in the first stage. So I think Spirit kind of has a little bit of an edge in that regard.
On that note, I do want to say that it was really funny, because at EWC we saw a different version of 9 class where every single game he was Hoodwink or Dark Willow. He was playing very standard heroes, and when we asked about it, he basically said, well, Cappy told me to play regular Dota. We've been playing regular Dota. It's working. If there's an interesting hero I can throw every now and then, I will. But it seems like they have shifted their playstyle more towards laning together as a 3 and 4 instead of him just running around.
I would say even though they can play that way, it kind of favors Spirit, because now you're not sucked into playing this weird Vision game that, they want to set up and make you feel uncomfortable. We talked about it when we see Falcons play, you don't want to play their game. And I think getting him on a Hoodwink or a Willow is already a win in that regard.
Yeah, this Ember, I'm so curious to see how you respond to it. We've seen Ember become a first phase pick so often in metas, and the question becomes, what hero do you want to crush him in lane with? Because there are options, but a lot of these teams aren't super comfortable with. Stuff like the Huskar, the Necrophos. It's not generally how you want to play, these mid players want to play. Doom as a response is, honestly, I would say not that much of a response at all. I think it's kind of just a hero that you're picking, and the heroes have interactions, but there's both positive and negative on both sides.
I do wonder about this Doom, because conceptually, Doom is an anti-carry hero, right? There are very little carries that like to play against him, and the ones that aren't in meta the same way, outside of Lone Druid. I think Vision might be trying to bait out a Lone Druid, and they've prepared a strategy against it.
I think another thing for this Doom is that he has kind of this end game win the game build right now with the Shiva's Guard and Ags, and we have two really teams that like to play for the end game. And having that edge in the end game, you have Satanic versus Yatoro, but it's also about how the surrounding cast comes together to enable these players and prevent the other guy from succeeding. So Doom kind of puts you on a timer in a sense where if he gets to that end game point, you're going to be the stronger player.
Yeah, there's the Nature's Prophet we've seen so many times. It's just good. We haven't really seen anything that felt like it countered it enough. His first phase banned it a lot of games. Nigma put it to great effect yesterday. So I don't see anything particularly wrong with this. One thing I do think that the Doom is interesting is sometimes whenever a hero's mid is first picked, it may seem like you want to just respond with the same hero in lane. You want to just counterpick them. But some heroes like the Monkey King, the Huskar, Necro, those heroes have counters in other lanes. And so you respond with other lanes to then get that gotcha counterpick a little bit later once you see more information and you can make a more educated decision about which one of the counters is better against the supporting cast.
So which archetype of hero do you see fit into that from the mid lane? Let's say double supports come out now. Do Vision show a third core, or do they just go for their supports?
I think Vision probably is waiting till the end. but I'm not entirely sure. Like, I think when you have got a Nature's Prophet on your team, you don't want double turret. We've talked about that before. You don't want these double ranged hitter guys. So something like a Necrophos or a Huskar gets a little bit worse. And you start looking at something more like a Monkey King or this melee dude who snowballs the lane, and you can get the moves rolling, a Satanic Farm and connect.
When we saw the Slark the other day, that can happen. But I think because of the lack of Wisp for both these teams, it's probably, you know, a little bit lower on the priority.
Yeah, they didn't ban it either, so I think, you know, you mentioned them potentially baiting the Lone Druid and saying we have answers for it. I think there may be a bit of that for both teams, saying we've got, there's heroes in the pool that are definitely contested and both teams are thinking about, and they're sort of moving around in a circle, looking at those heroes, looking at each other, seeing who will make the first sort of more committal move to something first.
I would say both these heroes, like both Nature's Prophet and Doom, kind of enables that playstyle that you like to play against the Lone Druid. They are fast at connecting to the safe lane. They can overwhelm like the guy on the safe lane that wants to just sit there and defend his tower. He doesn't really like when fast rotations can happen on him. So I think Spirit probably considering that here and decided to go for 2 supports. I think Hoodwink has looked extremely solid throughout this tournament. To me, it is one of the most stable position 4 heroes. It seems like the spells always have high impact, and Undying is one of those 5s that's just like, it's going to be stable, it's going to secure its lane, it creates a lot of issues, and opens up for a lot of potential pairings down the line.
She's a nice hero versus Nature's Prophet as well, because when he early teleports on her, she scurries out of Sprout. You look at Undying as well. If he gets teleported on early, he can live a little bit longer with the Decay, drop a Tombstone, maybe turn the tides there.
Yeah, it's smart picks, and they have great early game synergy with Ember. So even if he gets counterpicked, there's potential that you bring 3 heroes and you just fight them back. Especially with Rubik, which is a hero that traditionally is not super strong on the early fights because he has 1 spell that does damage. His other 2 spells don't do anything early, and so it's a little bit of a slower support, wants a little bit more time. And there's potential to abuse that for Spirit because their supports have got plenty of spells that all do stuff early on.
I do think an aspect of the Slark counterpick to Ember does come out. This is trending up. Honestly, it's been a lot of fun to watch, so I'll never root against this.
We were curious that if the lack of IO was going to be enough of a deterrent, that you're like, actually, we don't really feel comfortable that it will make it through the mid game out of mid lane that well, but no one's saying here. It's definitely going to be okay in Vision's eyes.
I think it's related to the 2 supports. So if you think about how Slark dies, it's if you can find an instant Hex or an instant Silence on him. But he's going up against Hoodwink, which has a slow-moving projectile that he can react to, and an Undying that has essentially no spells that prevent Slark from playing his game.
I was wondering why the crowd was cheering so loud, and then I realized it's a Yotaro Terrorblade. Like, if you've ever seen this Yotaro army back and forth, there has always been this hero at the center of it, and we know how much the Chinese crowd loves Yotaro based off of their little bromance between Ame and Yotaro.
Yeah, it's something worth cheering for, and I think it's a really cool TB game in a lot of ways. If you look at Vision's heroes, there's not that much teamfight, there's not that much AoE. It's a lot of sort of more greedy, selfish heroes who hit one guy, and now suddenly there's a wall of illusions, there's a tombstone, there's a lot of stuff in the fight, and it's hard to deal with that. And so if TB reaches a critical mass where he's got enough items to stand his ground and just hit, it's not easy for Vision to actually run into that illusion, the illusions. They can kind of just shred you.
Yeah, exactly. I think TB considered for a long time to be one of the best heroes against Doom because you're not reliant on the single hero to press a bunch of spells in the fight. He's going to enter the fight with a bunch of illusions and they'll do the damage. Same thing goes for Nature's Prophet. Both these heroes kind of struggle against TB, and now that you see the mid Slark that has essentially no spells either, it's a pretty good game to have illusions.
And the nerf to Satanic, the item, not the player, he's not nerfed, but the nerf to it, adding 10 extra seconds to the cooldown, is going to be quite significant against Terrorblade, because a lot of late game Nature's Prophet is around playing with your Satanic in a way where it's more valuable than the BKB even. And if the downtime is a lot lower on it, then TB is just going to have freer fights.
Yeah, it's very true. My one question for Spirit is, they knew this Lark was coming, and we've seen a lot of teams so scared of this matchup that they just dodge. It's a very scary lane and a very scary game matchup. Laurel is one of the best mid players at taking a bad matchup and still playing the game very well. It's put him and Malrine up there at the top. But this lane is particularly bad, and it doesn't get better as time passes. So I'm curious to see if Laurel has crafted some way to counterplay it, some new strategy, an item build, something. Because if you
heroes to the mid lane, do a late smoke, and try to kill the enemy mid laner. I've seen that happen a couple of times.
Even early carry rotations as well coming out from Yotaro if he's on a hero like that.
There's even the potential to dual lane for the first minute or two. I mean, we don't really think about it in terms of laning against the mid Slark, but if we think about it as a Huskar replacement, strategies do exist to make it easier.
It's just it's a little bit tough. I think Laurel, generally speaking, I don't think of like when I think of Malrine, I think he like has these like wave dragging things. He has a lot of these like weird ways of making his lanes fine. We even saw it in the previous game when he played the Sand King as Lina. He like pulls the waves into the camps. I don't really think of Laurel in the same way. Would you say he kind of fits that style, or is it more of what Mira said?
No, I agree in that I think he kind of just tanks it.
Yeah.
I think he tanks it really well. He doesn't wave dragging the farming so much.
Yeah.
Well, there's one last ban for Vision. Primal Beast was the other one, and I mean, it could make sense for their, what Spirit want for their last pick there, but it's just a hero that has somewhat been overlooked this TI. You go back 12 months, and this hero had way more success, way more flavor towards him too.
Man, it's also Collapse Classic, right? It's like it's his guy. I feel like when Primal Beast was first released into Dota and the hero was absolutely busted, he was playing it in every single pub and he was spamming voice lines and just laughing at you as he's running at you and like XDing himself because his hero was so stupidly strong. And so he definitely loves it. I find it interesting here. We have a kind of like conceptually thinking about these teams. I think looking at Spirit's heroes, you can very much easily tell this is Yotaro that needs to 1 versus 9.
Yep.
This TB is everything. Everything else is just there to enable the Terrorblade to deal damage. Whereas Team Vision has a bit more of a balanced draft where like there's a Doom that can cause an issue, there's the Prophet that can cause an issue, and there's a Slark that can cause an issue.
I was thinking about this Night Stalker coming up because he has played it before in this tournament and it's looked good. And the aspect of Vision that's hard to play into right now is, ironically, their Vision. These puns are coming out by accident, by the way. I'm really not intending them, but they're playing with the Slark D wards and Nature's Prophet ability to instantly connect on it. When you're playing with a Night Stalker, because of his ulti, you can find the Doom before he initiates. You can find the Prophet in the tree lines, and most importantly, you have the crippling fear for the Slark. It's probably Slark's biggest counter in Dota when Night Stalker gets a blink and there is no save on his team up until Rubik gets shard. So it's a cool idea.
What on earth? An Ogre last pick here for the side of Vision. 0 picks, 0 bets. This hero was completely uncontested until this moment here.
Dupalis likes this hero. He's played it in pubs. It pairs well with Nature's Prophet, gives you the extra attack speed, and maybe can bridge the difference in carries. TP's got all the illusions. Well, Satanic's got the extra attack speed, and maybe that makes a little bit of a difference.
I think this is a puppy flavor because it was played a couple of times at EWC and it was with a Nature's Prophet or a ranged carry, and it just feels like Puppy used to love this hero back in the day. He used to always play it on Secret when nobody wanted to, and it's just kind of naturally transitioned to his new team.
I also find it interesting because Ogre can actually buff more than one hero, right? The cooldown of Bloodlust is so short that you can keep it on multiple heroes, and you get the multicast eventually, which makes like the entire team stronger. And I feel like that again goes to like the concept of Vision are trying to accomplish, which is multiple answers for Yotaro. Whereas on the other side, I feel like Spirit, they just have a lot of tools that are going to enable Terrorblade to hit. They have the Tombstone, they have the Vision, they have all these things that are going to help him find these auto attacks and find the damage in the fight.
Yeah, I love this idea. I think it's so true, and it's like at the core of how Spirit drafts every game. You look at their heroes, they maybe don't make too much sense together until you put the TB in the picture. And oh, now I see the whole picture and it makes sense. The Night Stalker and the Ember and the Hoodwink, all these stuns, like you said, I fully agree. And it's why I love watching Spirit play, because they're drafting for the entirety of everything, how it all fits around Yotaro and not like individual stars.
I do want to know a little bit more insane of this Ogre, the item progression.
And a lot of this game will be dictated around how well Spirit deal with this and if they can weather the pressure that it's going to bring. If they can, their draft is fantastic here.
Yeah, fully agree. I'm worried for Slark. Slark Ember is a scary, scary matchup, so that's where I'm looking. But it's Spirit on main stage. It's game one. I got to put my faith in Bald Yatoro.
He's not even bold yet. You can't do that.
He will be.
Oh, if he makes it to the finals. We haven't even looked towards that. By the way, I know you guys were reacting to the crowd reacting. That's because Zhao 8 is casting over on the Chinese stream. If any of you guys wanted to open that one up, maybe have a dual stream going on, you're more than welcome to. But we're going to go from one legend to another. It's Tsunami standing by with Miposhka.
That's right, standing by with Team Spirit's Miposhka. Miposhka, you spent quite a time in that booth before coming out. I'm wondering, how has your coaching style changed from your 5-position style when you're in the booth? Draft ends, you're telling your teammates, this is how we should play the game. Are you giving them more instructions since you're not playing with them now?
Definitely, yes. I mean, for draft stage, not changed much, because like I previously did a lot of in the sphere. Preparation and something like that. But now I'm trying to teach my supports because I played a lot on that position. So always trying to help them, trying to help like how you should put vision, how you should approach the thing. And also I'm watching a lot of replays of enemies, our replays, and trying to find some mistakes, like how we should change our approach about some things. Like a lot of work. I don't know.
How well have your
very many things?
Yeah, it seems that way. How well have your supports taken your lessons? Because you're doing very well in this tournament right now.
So,
how are they understanding your lessons?
I would say slowly, but they do it. They're doing it anyway.
And then how about the lesson of Slark versus Ember Spirit? How are you feeling about that matchup?
I mean, we'll see. We played once, that matchup, and after the game, Lars said I would never play anymore on Slark against Ember because this hero is doing nothing after the lane stage. But we'll see how it will go from enemy's view. So, I mean, I believe in our draft anyway.
All right, let's see if the belief pays out. Miposhka, good luck in game number 1.
Hearing from a legend of the game, it does provoke the question. What does it take to become a legend? There's no doubt about Spirit's status as one of the greatest teams of all time, but to achieve that status, they did so by trampling over the gods of their time, beating players like Puppey and Faith Beyond to claim the Aegis. Same path now lies in front of Team Vision. To stay on the high road, they have to beat Yatoro and Collapse.
A lot of rings in this series here, and a lot more to potentially come for the young squad of Vision trying to seek their own. It's a tough team to play against on the main stage when the pressure's on, when you know these guys are going to clutch it up. And to me, these two teams, it's such a mirror match in some ways because they are both defined so much from that one position carry role. Spirit love playing around Yatoro. He is your win condition. He is what's going to define how this game goes down past that 30, 40, 50 minute mark. And I think the same can be said for Vision. This is a team built around the young gun in Satanic. You need him to pop off. You need him to have a good time. When Satanic is ahead of his opponent carry at 10 minutes, you win the game 3 out of 4 times. Straight up. And the flip side, when Yatoro is behind at 10 minutes on the enemy carry, Spirit only managed to win that game 35% of the time. So you're looking at these two carries going up against each other, and if the net worth gap starts to open up around that 10 to 15 minute mark when Vision want to explode the map and take the game over, especially between a Furion and a Terrorblade, this could be a very one-sided series. Spirit need to find a way to equalize that advantage, control the map, and not fall behind. I think Vision have been the faster team so far this event, and they're proposing a lot of tempo here between the Furion and the Slark mid with an Ogre to back it up. Extra bloodlust, some extra attack speed, extra movement speed, it all comes together.
It does kind of link back to Satanic's entrance onto the scene, right? Like, he shows up when Yatoro wants to take this break. He plays for Team Spirit, right? And Team Spirit went from the slow kind of 4 protect 1 sort of team. Uh-oh, Collapse. That is looking like your first blood. Satanic. Beautiful body blocking there with the Treants to collect a kill on a former teammate.
That is a big gold injection for a hero that was already free farming. It's just so scary to give Vision this kind of start on their safe lane. They're already dominating this lane. That's the downside of the Night Stalker pick. He's just not that strong early on. You really have to get to this first nighttime period. It's a hero you're going to have to rotate into. And the issue is the Ember, he has the toughest matchup mid, already just having to walk the base. This lane stage is already incredibly rough for Spirit. And it comes down to who is going to salvage that. The Terrorblade? Like, does this have to be some crazy Yatoro game where he's the one making some moves, making something crazy happen? This is not the easiest hero to do it on because you have to commit metas to get through the lane yourself.
Yeah, we heard a lot of theory crafting from the panel about how they're going to get out of this Ember Spirit versus Slark matchup, and so far, Team Spirit have not hit us with any of those wrinkles. So maybe their plan is a little bit later on, but so far, it's going to be Team Vision running away with the lanes. They're going to win that safe lane. They're absolutely going to dominate the mid lane matchup, and it looks like the off lane matchup is going to go pretty damn well for Notice as well.
It's fine. He might die up here to some Tombstone plus meta drop. That's your one concern in this lane. Otherwise, you're free farming up here. And with a Rubik, that always feels super nice. A classic Team Secret support duo. You know, Puppy bringing his little flair here with the Rubik Ogre. I can't count how many times he played this with the Apsar on that Rubik.
Oh, no one comes so close to drawing the aggro. Yatoro gets overwhelmed here. He does manage to pop his wand, stay alive. 9 class is now going to be the one in trouble, trying to deal with the Tombstone. Both of them are solo. They collect on the kill on 9 class, staying in front of Notice. Can they get this second kill? Rue, low on mana, will not have the decay to finish him off.
Early raindrop boots stick for Yatoro, gets him out of trouble there. The reflection really hurts while you're trying to kill that Tombstone. That's going to be the toughest lane for Vision, and honestly, they're still pulling a little bit ahead there. As you mentioned, these other 2 lanes are where the damage can really be done. Laurel just forced into the jungle super early. No one having a free time mid.
What'd you make of what Maposhka said about Laurel in this matchup? That, like, yeah, okay, Slark dominates the lanes, but, you know, going into the mid game, what is this hero really doing for you?
I can kind of understand what he said, especially if they had scrims versus it and it went better. I don't think the mid Slark, without the IO at least, snowballs incredibly hard.
Okay.
However, I will say Vision, they're a peculiar team with it because they've played so much with the 9 class Slark.
Yeah.
They're familiar at how to control the map, get the proper D wards, utilize the Vision. It can do a lot of damage here. I think no one's going to be very comfortable playing this hero, and it's not necessarily the worst Slark game outside of that Nightstalker. I think it's pretty obnoxious for the supports. There's not a lot of direct control. The Terrorblade matchup is a little frustrating sometimes with the later Death Shroud, and you can't really get some big ultimate off. You go in, you try and Sunder, someone gets Depth Shrouded, he ults, it gets a little weird.
Yeah.
There are some interactions that are annoying, so I don't think this is a game where the Slark is going to have muted impact. And if anything, I think Spirit are more dependent on Laurel being able to make moves.
Teleport's coming in. They really set this one up, trying to get the D ward on the ward, barely outside of that. Rue is already rotated over to try and help Laurel, but yeah, Vision just throw everything they have in this mid lane. They do not want to let Laurel get to this level 6. Fortunately, a high ground Tombstone is going to be whatever is Vision. Just walk outside of the AoE. No real punish coming here from Team Spirit. And that means a whole lot of damage on this mid tower so early on to the game. I mean, just keep the heroes here. Laurel can't do anything about it.
Catapult stayed alive. You're not able to lane. Tower's just gone to Bloodlust Fury on. Spirit read that move, and it still worked for Vision. That's a little concerning. Your only real turnaround on these aggressive Furion boards is Collapse matching that, TPing in, just running the Furion down.
He is doing a really good job of taking this tower early.
Yeah, he got a lot of damage with his Catapult too. Vision, I think, a little late to defend that, honestly. Especially if you're going to TP the Slark down here in the end. This feels like a little bit of a wasted port.
Unless they can actually convince Team Spirit to fight into them, but of course, Nighttime Vision of Collapse should read most of this situation.
I also think
Slark is up to.
This Slark going bottom is freedom for Laurel. It's like, yes, please, give me some time to CS mid without getting my regen drained.
Yeah.
Noticed he does have Doom available. You got to be careful up here. Don't want to linger too long with this Terrorblade and just give up that free kill.
Speaking of free kills, Ogre is very oftentimes a free kill. Takes a little while to get him sometimes because he's a big tanky boy, but an extra bit of golden experience for Collapse. And for me, I feel like that's so much rides on Collapse being able to deal with this Slark. Like, if he can have a good enough lane, transition that into a mid-game where he's shutting down the Slark, get a Blink Dagger, AoE silence on him, those can be some pretty easy kills.
I think the Night Stalker's absolutely the X factor in this one. How much is Collapse going to be able to do in controlling some of these night times, being a presence on the map, not letting no one just play a free Slark game, control runes, get the D wards. Can he match some of the Furion rotations? There's a lot of potential there. You just have to pick your moments really well. At least you get a tower down here. We'll take it. Nice little extra gold injection for him.
Yeah, I
Maybe
like that Collapse took the last hit, too. For a second there, I thought Yotaro was going to walk in and take it, but you need this gold on Night Stalker.
You have to make this Night Stalker as strong as possible, as fast as possible. He's your best ticket into the early game team fighting that you know is coming to you at a pretty fast pace right now. I like this wave drag top. It's going to stall up this tower push considerably.
Yeah, it might die for it, but it's going to force a lot of heroes from Vision to try and catch him. He's actually stays ahead of them.
They're TPing the Night Stalker.
Yeah, they want to fight with these heroes behind tower like this. Dark Ascension ready to go.
You got to fight something off this rotation. Don't want to move Collapse without getting at least a support kill out of it.
Do you think it's okay if it just means Collapse this tower?
I think the tower was going to get held no matter what with both supports coming up here like that.
Okay.
I think it's a little sad for the Night Stalker. Good defense from Spirit. Not overly sad about the overall exchange. Collapse, he just wants to get more out of these night times. I think that's the nature of the hero. Sure. You're always looking for as much as you can during these 5-minute windows.
2,000 net worth lead as the laning phase kind of breaks down Team Vision. Get the lead that is about expected, right?
Yes, we're approaching that 10-minute mark, and it is the Furion ahead of the Terrorblade. So Vision have to be pretty confident with the early game advantage they've accrued here, as long as you don't give up some big core kills.
Oh, look at all those bounties. They got one apiece.
Nice even exchange. Very friendly rune battle, you know?
And we're back to daytime. So Vision, they ran over the first 5 minutes. Had to take a bit of a break with the Night Stalker threatening them. But now I feel like it's back on again.
I honestly think this period was not that bad for Spirit. There weren't too many extra Furion rotations. They defended top tower. The Embers recovering a little bit, and you didn't give up any just extra bad kills with the supports, which means this support duo for Vision is not that they're super low level, but they could have been a lot higher level. And it's actually the Undying who's the highest level support in this game. So that's pretty nice here. You don't have this Rubik ult online. He's nowhere close to it. The Ogre levels don't really matter. You have 3 points in Bloodlust. That's all he's contributing. You can keep playing around this top tower. Might be able to stabilize this early game. That is a very fast defusal, though.
Super scary. Any hero that gets caught alone by this Slark.
It is daytime, so you're a little weaker on this Slark running around. And Spirit, they're continuing to dodge him. Laurel just pulling waves. Does not want to go anywhere near no one. First item, Ghost Scepter out. That sounds like a little
Or
too
pulling again. This time he'll be punished for it, but
does have
he gets a number of those creeps killed. Delays this push a lot. They still haven't taken that safe lane tower.
They've been really annoying on that top tier one. Of course, last hit to Satanic off the Wrath of Nature. There's where the tip is coming through.
Yeah, of course.
Classic. Give me that gold.
Do you think these Furions like click their ultimate straight up on the hero when they're at 100?
No, it's if he's really low, yes. Usually it's 1 or 2 units. Finally, this tower will go down. You could have committed your Dark Ascension to again try and defend it even further, but I think you bought enough time here. You're okay conceding it, using that Dark Ascension for either a turnaround play or defending some power for the Ember, something like this. It's going to be a defensive game for Spirit, though, until you're ready to just play through Collapse and his strength. He does have a blink. I mean, he's fairly farmed. Put the game stick.
I do feel like it's one of those weird things that that evasion's so obnoxious, man. It'll cost him a few extra seconds, and Collapse does TP away successfully there. I do feel like, look, can they make moves with Night Stalker? Because it's kind of like making moves with a Tidehunter, right? Like, oh, we've got Ravage, guys. Let's go use it. Okay.
It's not.
Yeah, you make a move, you use that Ravage. Well, guess what? That Ravage is now on cooldown, and Vision could just run you over.
I think the turnaround play is a lot more reliable for Spirit. You kind of know Vision are going to go into you, particularly this Slark with the Furion backup. If you can bait him in a little bit, TP in with Night Stalker Blink on the backline, that's where the fight's going to look good for Collapse with this early Blink Dagger. It's very hard to just force the issue yourself, though. So Vision do have to be careful overextending deep into enemy territory.
Who's going to tank another gank?
This is that type of fight.
Around to kind of help him out. They burst down the Undying so quickly, and Tombstone's easily dealt with. Yeah, Team Spirit not actually going to fight this. It would be all up to Collapse if he wants to make that call, and he did not have TP.
downside of him keeping the base there. Right. If that's 20 seconds later, I think Spirit would take that engagement. Otherwise, I'm just going to write it off. Base for the Ember, who did commit for first item Ghost Scepter, by the way. Extremely defensive itemization here. It does save you against a lot of this damage early. It's just always one of those things, okay, you survive, but what are you surviving for if you're just some Ghost Scepter Ember? Are you actually doing anything after you get out of the Sark count? So you have to build in some more damage here. Looking for no one. There's that blink.
Got him on that AoE silence. They've got plenty of disables to follow through, so an easy pickoff.
Big kill.
On no one, and they use it at a period of time where there's going to be a not that big of a daytime window.
Still half the duration here. Might be able to find an extra support. Toro, he's in the vicinity. He's going to meta for this. Yeah, that's another kill. 2 kills off that Dark Ascension, and you got the big one in the Sark.
And even going into the triangle here, take this stack.
Very smooth connection here from Collapse. As we mentioned, like 30 seconds till nighttime. It's a pretty small window for Vision to abuse. Try and steal the Ancients. This is a little greedy.
They absolutely should try and stop this, though. Nice, good. Okay, they have a Tombstone out, and they're going to be walking into that one. Doom already used out on Yatoro. He needs some help here. Notice also needs some help. They're actually doing a good amount. Doom already dead. Satanic coming through with the follow. He should just be able to clean most of this up. Team Spirit on the retreat, trying to get as many heroes out, and they will get 3 of them out. So in the end, definitely okay for Vision, but if you put together everything, like the stacks that were stolen, feels kind of even.
Not the worst gold exchange. I just don't like Spirit losing Yatoro there. I think you're okay losing almost anybody else other than the Terrorblade. He's too important for how you're going to scale in this game. It is nighttime, though.
Rubik.
Collapse continuing to do work here. He is really holding this game together with some clutch kills.
Yes.
Still, Satanic, he was the biggest beneficiary to that fight. 5-0 start for the Fury on 150 CS. I've seen this before, Austin. He's almost 3,000 ahead of the enemy carry. There's a limit to how much you can give this man before he just runs away with it.
It really is the perfect way to watch the Satanic versus Yatoro showdown.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yatoro just trying to hold the game going. Satanic with his aggression of farming every single bit of the map while also being a part of these kills. Rubik is going to die in the mid lane. Satanic, here comes no one as well. Can he hit a pounce to get a kill here? Nah, both these heroes are way too mobile.
Coach goes right. This Sark is useless. He can't find the connections right now. Spirit are honestly playing really well around him. They're kind of initiating all these skirmishes away from where the Sark is. And maybe if you're no one, you're going to have to position yourself a little more aggressive on the map, but he's worried about this early blink Night Stalker.
Yeah.
If Collapse finds him just blink silence, the Sark's dead, so no one's trying to find this balance of being involved in the fights, being on the front line, the thing you want to do with Sark, and at the same time, you're afraid to give Collapse the jump. Once more, they're going to try and backstab this tower. No one, he shows this is dangerous.
Going to be no one. Caught inside the silence. Can he get out of the AoE? He was almost there, but no. Locked down and killed. The TP coming in from Team Vision. Still want to fight this out, but it's just Notice scaring back Team Spirit, preventing them from going for more kills and maybe objectives. He does complete out a Radiance on Notice, so as rough the game as no one is having these last few minutes, Notice is climbing the network charts.
Oh, they're incredibly far. The net worth is not going poorly for Vision. You can feel the impact of this Night Stalker, though. Collapse is controlling the game right now. And that's buying a lot of time for his other 2 cores. It's not that he's pulling ahead, it's this Ember is all of a sudden having a fine game. This Terrorblade is getting to punish a tower mid. This is all a product of the Night Stalker finding the clutch pickoffs.
Vision want to fight on this tower. We smoke up. No one TP's in.
You don't have any hard initiation, though. No blink on the Doom.
And Collapse getting the information. They see these heroes coming in on the left-hand side. Almost got him inside the silence. No one pounces away just in the nick of time. Team Spirit, do they keep this going here? Toss back, easy kill onto the Rubik, but up into the high ground. Are they willing to chase up there?
Oh, he is.
Collapse is willing to go up there, scouts it out, sees no heroes. They've already gone back behind their tier 2s. A really fast flip of who's controlling the map. It went Vision for the first, 5-6 minutes, and now it's Team Spirit taking most of it. But as you said, both teams are experienced enough to keep the losses. They're losing some heroes, they're losing some map, but they're still keeping the economy relatively even.
Oh, but it's
Satanic dies. That would be a massive
He's dead
blow.
if he goes for
He's
this
trying
camp.
to get to his BKB. This is the time for Team Spirit to kill him. He needs the hoodwink here.
Does a lot of damage.
Fighting back though. Collapse just going to hold this ground. The TV goes out. They stop it with a bushwhack. Now a follow through with a sharpshooter. Collapse making sure he doesn't die.
He's so strong.
Oh my God. Wait a minute. He gets one kill when it shouldn't have happened. Almost got a second one, which would have been the improbable. Ultimately impossible for Satanic to stay alive, though.
You gotta respect this kid. You really gotta respect him. He does a lot of damage. He almost triple killed him there. That was extremely dangerous for Spirit. I do not think they're gonna make that mistake again. Yeah, you're strong in the Night Stalker if people are running away from you. If they just stand there and fight you, you're a Blink Dagger. You don't really have any extra stats.
Yeah, Satanic had no fear whatsoever. He saw the Night Stalker and said, okay, I see what's going on here.
That was a terrifying situation. However, they do get the big Furion kill. It's going to slow down his progression, help the Terrorblade close that gap. This has been a very interesting game so far, and I still feel like Spirit are controlling it a little bit more, while Vision are extracting a little more out of the map. Bloodlust is definitely going to do that. You are concerned about some BKB timings here, though. You have no BKB control in this Team Spirit lineup. And you can potentially have 3 cores that have BKBs and Bloodlust just sitting there. Are you going to be able to run into them and actually kill people?
Yeah, it's a crazy amount of steroids they've got in their
It's
lineup.
tough. That's when this game becomes tough. I also think these early fights have been difficult because you don't have a true initiator in this Vision lineup. It comes down to Blink Doom later, maybe Slark Ags, or the Slark having BKB so he can just confidently run in. We have not been at that point yet. Laurel, you are doomed.
Gets caught. Notice, blinks forward, hits him with the stun and a Doom.
He actually had a 3x streak, huh? A little extra gold in the way of the Doombringer. And there's that Blink Dagger. So the fights become a lot easier. You can send this Doom in first. You're going to have BKB on the Slark soon. Those are 2 points of attack to play behind here if you're Satanic looking for an opening. The Toro trying to get a little cheeky mid with some extra meta duration. Tombstone save is going to be huge in this game as well. Just being able to buy time on the target that gets doomed, stall out some of the Furion right clicks. This spell has been super impactful this TI. Spirit play really well around it. So already online, something you have to keep in mind. Can also bail heroes out of the Slark control if some of your utility is down. Trying to wade through this daytime. You have a Dark Ascension available, level 2 now for Collapse. However, I think he needs BKB to really stick in the fight. You go in the fight, you get Ogre stunned, Rubik lifted into the Furion damage. You're just getting melted.
It is, Vision. I feel like Tormentor's got to be pretty important. They've got great heroes on the side of Team Spirit. Of course, they already bought their shard on the Undying, but I also feel like Vision, like if 9 class can complete a 4-staff, but also get the shard from the Tormentor, they would have additional way to be able to help no one get out of that crippling fear. That would kind of even things out when it comes to the saves being on both sides.
Yeah, there's some nice extra shards for Vision in terms of those saves. On the flip side, Spirit have already bought 4 of them.
What? They bought 4 of them?
Yes, there's only 1 left to grab, and it's that Hoodwink Boomerang.
Yeah, I mean, all the Night Stalkers are doing it. It helps their farm. I guess everybody else kind of makes sense. Shield Rune.
Oh, that is a dangerous jump.
Yeah, Collapse. Yeah, I don't know if that you just saw that Power Rune and thought I have to get to that or what, but that was not a good start for a fight.
Just didn't expect them all to be there right at the start. What can Vision get off that? A lot of time with the Night Stalker off the map. It is during the daytime. He's a little less valuable. However, I feel like every time you lose a core in this game, you're going to lose 1 or 2k net worth advantage as Furion just cleans up the map. Maybe they can just do Roche with some of the extra single target burst from the Bloodlust. The Midas is online for the Ogre, by the way, so Ducalis, he sometimes goes the Midas, sometimes goes more utility. This time he's going to opt for the Midas and just scale a bit better.
How did he make that decision in your head?
I honestly think it's one of the more difficult ones to make. I think it's about your read of when you're going to try and end this game. If you're going high ground around 30 to 35, you don't want the Midas. If you think this game is going to go the 40, 50-minute period, the Midas is better. Okay. It's really just about how well this game's flowing, how much of a lead we've built up. Are you going to just run this over and be able to end it before any of the scale comes online. I think here he made the correct read. I don't think you're snowballing this game enough to just say, hey, I'm going to buy 4 staff and we're just going to go higher on this lane. This Midas will pay off. It always does.
$4,000 net worth lead for Team Vision, but an even kill score of 11-11. We are approaching this next nighttime. They do have Dark Ascension up on Team Spirit, so we might see them do kind of similar what they did last time, which was try and connect for a play around this 24-minute marker. Pop Dark Ascension, and that goes seamlessly into the next nighttime. So Collapse is going to have to park Dark Ascension here defensively. Not what he wanted whatsoever.
No, not at all.
He'll take the creeps, try and make the best of a bad situation there.
Will flow into that 25-minute nighttime period. You just don't have the extra damage for the fight.
He's skittering away from no one here in the trees, who's trying to figure out some D-ward situation here.
Honestly, I'm impressed with how much Laurel is found in this game. I think Spirit did get out of this Ember Sarge matchup pretty well. I don't think that's been the issue here. Just a question of can you win a team fight. The team fight still looks difficult.
No one catches him. Forceap. Nami gets away just before the pounce lands. Nicely done. Another support in some trouble. Though Yotoro is actually here, and it's going to force a fast TP away from the Furion. There, the save.
Oh, that bushwhack.
Beautiful bushwhack. Locked down 2. Rue marches forward a little bit too far forward. No one turns around and kills him with his ultimate and gets out. He still has BKB. Not too much he's afraid of. In fact, he's even going to stand here. See Team Spirit stumble a little bit too far forward.
Does hit nighttime. Just a little too deep to push. There were still BKBs available for the 2 frontliners on Vision. Satanic did not like what he found on the other end of that teleport. Instantly pulled the Nightfall. He was out of there.
Speaking of BKBs, Collapse is about to be done with his, and he's already see his queue up of items, Nullifier and a Basher. No surprise there. Just anything to keep these heroes locked in crippling fear for as long as possible.
It's scanned down here. Vision really gonna try and make a play. That's a hard play to connect on.
Drop the ward. I wonder if Collapse saw the ward being dropped. Certainly saw the heroes coming in.
A nice dodge here. Continuing to close this gap between the Terrorblade and the Furion. I mean, both farm extremely fast. It's going to be Butterfly for Satanic. It's going to be Butterfly for Yotoro. One of them is going to reign supreme here.
Do either one of them go MKB to deal with the other, or is it just both carries are going to try and kill
it would be
else on the enemy?
I think it would be quite hilarious. They both went Butterfly, saw it, and both went MKB. Though I think it's a much stronger item on Terrorblade than Furion on average. I'd be pretty surprised if Satanic ends up with MKB this game. He might. If he thinks he can just TP and BKB, bring this Terrorblade down quickly. Bloodlust does give some extra value to some of these proc items.
Sure.
That's a consideration.
Right now, he's queued up his namesake in Satanic. Collapse pushing in the top wave. Still have his off-lane tier 1 tower. It looks like he's even going to try and set up for, see if there's a support down here for the Wisdom Shrine. Maybe even take the Wisdom Shrine, or at least force Vision to defend. Slipping up the side.
They're smoking to him.
Those are emptied out.
He's trying to anchor a position that Spirit can go to here and get a really nice backstab on the fight. Just catch Vision off guard. It might work out here.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good with this smoke happening. Collapse ready to pop the Dark Ascension. Instantly jumps onto the Rubik. Wants to go with the supports first. Same goes with the rest of the team after Jakalis. Both supports, well, the sharpshooter doesn't land, but they got both of them anyway.
That was very fast. And you could see Vision, the attack came from multiple angles. They just weren't sure what this fight was looking like. Just kind of failed on it. Way too chaotic. Way too hard to get a read there.
Still caught no one.
Yeah?
His team is going to be pretty far away to get here, and the BKB has to be used. BKB exchange between Collapse and no one.
Going to continue to scout. Ascension's out. However, you have that 5-on-3.
Yeah, Yotoro's already teleporting back to the triangle. He wants to just farm. Try and clear through these camps before the next minute spawns. Efficient as possible. There's the butterfly. More butterfly.
Pretty nice timing here for Satanic. He's not as far ahead as I thought he might be, given the early game. once more speaks to Spirit's ability to limit the damage being done. The fact they're up kills in this game is kind of astounding to me.
All right, so Vision, they weren't able to snowball the game quite the way they probably wanted to, but there's nothing wrong with their scale.
No. You absolutely get to play games over here. Especially if you can find openings like that.
Pick off. Satanic, not even required. Just so well executed by
Let
Vision.
the Ogre beat him down.
Yeah.
That's going to be Roshan.
Straight to Roche. No defending for Team Spirit. Getting a kill like that during nighttime, doing Roche off, that's going to be a massive win for Vision in context of this game.
Oh, what a sick smoke. Just straight into the Terrorblade right by the Roche pit. Spirit, they steal these, though. They contest them.
But he doesn't have Dark Ascension. If he had the full flying vision, maybe he could pull that off.
Not me, not going to go for the play. Tanic going to try and find the squirrel. It's going to be a difficult catch.
Time for Team Spirit to rad, especially as we go into another daytime. Vision, this feels like a moment where they're going to take a lot of objectives. They could start taking tier 2s in my head.
For sure. I think the only thing they're really missing for me is some of those extra saves between the Slark Rubik Shard. However, if they're snowballing and they're playing aggressive, you don't need them here by any means.
Yeah, if you're balled up, it's not like Team Spirit have big team fight that really punishes you, right? They've got, what, an AoE Void, an AoE Silence, Tombstone.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. If you have Depth Shroud and the Telekinesis, you can throw the Slark out of the Night Stalker range. You can Depth Shroud someone the Night Stalker goes on. It becomes a lot more difficult to latch on to some of these squishy heroes and just bring them down to get a numbers advantage.
Yep.
That's the reason I like it here. However, like you said, if you are just grouped and you're kind of forcing objectives, you can protect your backline just through close vicinity. You're not worried about clumping into anything in this game. There's no clump abuse in this Spirit lineup.
Move the Ember Spirit over here.
They're gonna smoke. They're gonna try and fight into this Aegis.
Yeah.
This is really difficult with the extra life on the Furion. You really have to find a good angle. Butterfly done for Yatoro, though. He says, I want to get something done with my timing.
Might find a good angle to get the Lark. Well, it's just the Ogre.
You don't want this Ogre. You don't want to commit the Night Stalker jump on it.
Well, if they don't have to.
Yeah, you can poke them down.
Not too bad.
Very, very smartly played. Do not want to jump in with Night Stalker until you find the target you're looking for.
So they relieve some of this aggression for, about a minute with the Ogre dying and then coming back onto the map without having to use Dark Ascension. If they can pull it off again, they might just weather through this daytime without too much loss. It's still Vision that's going to be gaining an advantage through this.
For sure.
In the Aegis and Furion being Furion, they've got a 7,000 net worth lead now.
I would say Yatoro's fairly comfortable right now scaling, other than this Doom, which it's just a skill-based thing. You can find the connection on the Terrorblade. It's a very one-sided matchup. If you can set up illusions, kind of enter the fight, it's not an easy jump for Notice, then this Terrorblade's difficult to deal with right now.
Well, it's 9 class, and the Dark Ascension for that kill.
He's done.
They're snowballing his support pickoffs again to try and get through this period of time.
And he did go MKB on the Furion.
Okay.
He's going to commit for the ability to just bring Yatoro down as quickly as possible.
Yeah, they get the Doom on him. He can't Sunder. Furion then delivers the damage to kill that life.
Tombstone save is the one wild card there.
Yes, right? They can really hold down for a long time against Doom.
Oh, the jump, the stomp.
Initiation with the stomp there. A nice bushwhack. Is that going to be enough to save him?
No.
Panic teleports in. He goes straight for Yatoro with his MKB. Yatoro, he's dying. He's taking a lot of damage. Can't really thunder anything, but oh, whoa. They actually do manage to get the Ember Spirit. Satanic got low. Run down Rue as well. Managed to get 2 off of that one. Not too bad for Vision.
Tombstone stalled a long time. You're just coming out into a world of pain. No way to really turn that fight. Yeah, Toro definitely felt that MKB beating into him there. You have the serrated Shiv as well. So you have some extra True Strike on top of that MKB. A really nice roll here for Satanic.
Look how fast he attacks with his Bloodlust. That's scary.
That's that Ogre power. It skews these carry matchups.
They're going to keep the aggression going. Vision, they've done this a number of times. One of the teams that have closed out some of the fastest games here at TI. The question was, are they just that good, or is it part of their style?
think it's a little bit of both. Still a minute left on this Aegis. Not going to risk the high ground push with it expiring.
Yeah, he got the glyph out of him. That's good enough.
Oh, Yatoro.
Yatoro! Where do you go from here? He doesn't have TP. He's kind of stuck. He has to make a Sunder play and kill Satanic. It's his only option. And he might just be able to take away the Aegis, but no one will clean up the rest of the life.
Another costly death. He's died twice on this bottom lane. Some of the deep wards for Vision really paying off, scouting the sides of the map.
Yeah, Dakalis had that deep ward earlier on the right-hand side, and I assume that's what spotted Yatoro making his way down there. I can't believe he was out there without TP, though.
That was a really weird situation to be in. Your Aegis expired. You can absolutely still go high ground, though. No way this Terrorblade has buybacks. You're not worried about that.
Yeah,
30 seconds
easily
here.
a tier 3, maybe a lane.
Slark might not have done a lot in this game. He might not have to do a lot at this rate.
Managed to get the hoodwink. Nice force stab forward. Or maybe that was actually, unfortunately, not me using his force stab on himself.
Was trying to get out of there.
Way into Team Vision. And with 10 seconds to spare, they've got a full lane of barracks and out, hitting a tier 2 now. Satanic is just picking up speed, going faster and faster.
All of a sudden, he's 8,000 ahead of that Terrorblade. Blink and you'll miss it. You just can't afford bad deaths against the squad. They're playing too well right now, too efficient. They understand their win condition. They understand the game plan. They're not just going to go back to their side of the map and chill for 10 minutes and let you recover. Nighttime will strike once more.
Now this is one of those night times where you're just desperately trying to claw back some net worth.
You have to
instead of putting your stamp on the game.
Have to get something here. You're very close to some big items too. It's going to be Ags for Laurel. We'll finish it here in 20 gold. You're close kind of to that Scotty for Yatoro. He's an ultimate over away. I don't know if you can really wait for that. And you do have that nullifier on the Night Stalker. So this is as good as it gets for Spirit for a long while until that next Roshan spawn. They would love to take a fight right here. Find a nice angle, bring down supports, assassinate this backline, and then rally around the Terrorblade.
Can they do a fight without Yatoro? Can Yatoro just farm his ultimate orb and the 4 just go hunting for heroes?
It's getting difficult.
Yeah, Vision aren't really splitting up too much, not giving too many chances. They're going to spot no one here. Instant slide jump away. The Power Rune will lie unclaimed, taken by no one now with the regen.
Full Hex on that Ogre, by the way. This might just absolutely paid off in this game. Get multi-shot on that.
Link Scythe the Vice, he's huge. Rue playing around this ward. Collapse actually going to go for this kill onto no one, but the BKB makes it simple. He'll try and deal with Dakalis with the bounce around there of the Aghanim Scepter. He'll get back. Notice chasing after Yatoro. Through the Lincoln's out on Yatoro. They're trying to work their way through it, but he's up to the high ground now. Bushwhack to hold back Satanic. Team Spirit, if they can just get out with a kill on Dakalis, it's not the worst, but they're actually kind of hiding Satanic.
They want to use the meta
Still
Ascension.
thinking they can fight this one with the Dark Ascension to the high ground.
No BKB on the Slark.
Bought a 9 class. Telekinesis is himself out of there.
Disengage is too good. Able to assassinate one support. That's all you get there.
That really can't be good enough for Team Spirit.
No, running into control issues. This Night Stalker was good for the first half of the game. Once the BKBs came out, it's a way different story. You also have the shards up on the Rubik and the Slark, so now you have the Depth Shroud plus the throw. Becomes way easier to disengage from this zone of control the Night Stalker's proposing.
Yeah, they have such single target focus, right? Nullifier on Night Stalker, who's right-clicking people down, Terrorblade, swinging on one hero. These single target saves are going to be amazing. Psychic Headband puts himself inside the Tombstone. They're farming a Tombstone inside of the base here. Team Spirit can do very little to stop it.
Very ult dependent. No meta, no Ascension. You don't have the damage to take that fight.
They do finally get to that Scotty, and it's still nighttime vision. This would be very bold. They could just wait until daytime, but...
This Furion is peaking right now. He's 25. He has the player's Boda. His damage is out of control.
But if they lose this fight, it could be Team Spirit getting an Aegis off of it.
What can Spirit do here? Meta in 15. They forced him in.
Forced staff in, trying to hit the bushwhack. He activates the BKB in time. The cost not be almost his life. Still trying to kill him here. He's trying to sharpshooter his way out of here, but no.
Collapse.
Or two dying.
Nowhere to go.
Collapse in some trouble. Fire blasted down. An easy kill. Pop through the Lincolns of Laurel. He's forced away. They're gonna have to buy back for this one. They might be able to fight it though. Satanic turns, stands his ground up against Yatoro, but the bushwhack telekinesis trying to get him away, but no, he dies all the same. Now it's up to Team Spirit. They got to get as many kills out of this as possible.
Got the stun.
No one. They get hit as well. How much more? A TP away from Dekalis? Not in time. Collapse, unable to get the Void out. That'll be just 2 cores. They lost a lane of barracks. They have to get Roshan for this.
Triple buyback plus a lane. A brutal economic blow. You don't lose Yatoro. That's the silver lining. It's going to TP bottom, try and fix the map, and you're absolutely right. You have to play for the Roshan here.
The sad part for them is it's not going to be up another 40 seconds. There will kind of be a window if they really play to it.
I think you have to. I think you will have to park someone in here and man up for it.
Despair as Team Spirit go into the pit and find Roshan has not spawned yet.
That's a rough
There's
spawn.
still hope that they can get it. But it's
Collapse.
Got Hex. Collapse. Getting caught by the side device. He's in. And, whoa, Tombstone saved. Could he possibly get out of here? Out of the Tombstone, he's going to be so low. It only takes so much for Vision to take him out. They're trying to push these heroes back, and he'll just hold inside the Tombstone. They can't.
They might get something more.
He's out now. Collapse. He's playing with them. He's toying with them, but he got doomed. The Doom is out. They'll get the Rubik for it. This kind of snowballed some kills now. Now Team Spirit do have a larger window to take this Roshan. It's up now.
You have the confidence to do it without Night Stalker for 90 seconds. That's the dieback there. He did tank the Doom. And honestly, it's kind of worth it in some ways, because now you can take this fight without Doom available. I think you have to man up here. You have to take the opportunities when they're presented.
Oh man, Roshan trying to get to the other side. Do they have to disable this?
I don't know if they do.
Oh, it's going to be really weird. He's full rushing out of the way. They're going to buy back.
It's a disaster.
It's an opportunity. If they can take it out, Roshan just throwing hero after hero. Moving to the Doom. They're being used by Yatoro. Meanwhile,
oh my God.
He just keeps on rampaging through these heroes. Roche trying to get away from Satanic. Yatoro's back to base. Vision will take the Roche.
That could not have gone worse for Spirit. They did not have enough time to do it as Roche just annihilated them in the river.
They were seconds away. If they could have just done it 5 seconds faster, they could have killed it even as Roshan was out the base, but instead Vision had the extra life on Furion, something that wasn't even necessary. And Aegis was a thread, a prayer for Spirit to have some sort of hold in this game against the extra life of Furion. It's gotta be over. I don't know how they can take this.
They're gonna get Vegas here. Damn damage for the Slurk was just the cherry on top. We saw no one laughing all the way to the bank.
Watching Laurel throw himself after Roshan time and time again. Knows that they needed that extra life. It's Megas, it's Vision hitting tier 4s. It's a buyback from Laurel. And a desperate hold, trying to make the initiation on the Furion. Got him on the bushwhack, no real follow through. Laurel, he jumps to the back line, spotting Dekalis, but he can't stick around, not against the site device. He has to play his distance. He's gonna make a run for it, try and cut some waves. He gets hit by a stomp, break through Lincoln, see if they can get the site.
On his own.
Fire blast on him, and now he's dead. Doom guarantees it.
Too far, too deep. These heroes are too slippery. Just can't align the control and the damage. That's been the problem for Spirit all game. Without an Ember for 100 up against Megas. Metas was popped here. Vision, you can just wait out meta.
Yeah,
go back in.
They just hold this. They'll have plenty of time with the Ember Spirit still down a 4 versus 5, 4 versus 6 if you include the Aegis.
Still have to respect the Terrorblade. Yatoro is having some very free fights, being able to sit in the back and just bring these heroes down quickly.
Double pounce in, trying to catch not me. Core staff gets Yatoro out of danger.
Meta down for 65 seconds here.
Yeah, what is a melee Terrorblade able to do here against the range of the Furion? See it there. Sprout forces Yatoro into a Manta. Telekinesis tossed back in, and he's in trouble. Gets off asunder. It doesn't matter, though. They can just fight right through all of it because Satanic stands there and swings on his former mentor. He goes down, and that is too easy for Vision. They'll finish off the rest of these Team Spirit heroes without a carry. They don't have the damage to stop Satanic. GG is called. Team Spirit will go down. Vision, a dominant Game 1 victory. No surprises there.
Team looks almost unbeatable right now. when they're behind, they recover. When they're ahead, they snowball. And then in weird games like this, where it kind of feels even for a long time, it feels like they're always the team that finds that one kill, that one opening, and the second the levy breaks, you're down 10K, you're down 15K. Now you have to make some desperate move. That Roshan play almost bails Spirit out. Even if they get that, do they win this game? I don't know how much it shifts the odds. I think this situation for Spirit's just very uncomfortable. You're in a game where the onus is on you to make all these incredibly difficult moves with Night Stalker because your Ember just doesn't have a lane to play. It's all on Collapse. He finds some of those, but he just had to find so many.
Too many problems. Vision constantly pose too many problems for their opponents.
Though Miposhka there at the end of the draft talked about how Slark doesn't really do anything post the lane. You have to question, but is your Ember going to be able to do anything in the lane after that as well? It felt like so often we were seeing Lyle be put in precarious situations and have to do so much with so little, but still massive props to Spirit for being able to drag out this game that they did, put themselves in a position where they're contesting objectives, they're taking towers, and we actually almost saw them get a strong grip on this game, potentially even lead it into that win.
Yeah, I think it's an incredibly impressive performance from Laurel because his position is super hard, and we saw what we talked about. He didn't die. He's holding on. He catches up really well. His net worth is totally respectable, even in a situation where he's playing an impossible lane. I think it's a great show of resilience and the magic Spirit has, but I don't know. This Vision team is they're just on fire right now.
Yeah, in a way, the Doom pick to me was the really genius aspect of how Vision played it with the opening in the draft. I think you alluded to it a bit, Quinn, about how they're going to set up for something even later on, and then the Doom kind of looked like the backup plan. They had the Slark up their pocket. They were going to shut him down later on. They didn't want them to pre-address the Slark in the earlier picks. And even if Laurel managed to recover, that was where Doom existed. So many fights, even though Slark was being handled by the Night Stalker, Doom was dooming the Ember. And what can you do after that? Even if you try to recover, it's very hard to take those fights.
Yeah, I mean, I think the prior draft, obviously, like, it played out into their favor, but I think this game is a lot closer than people think it is. I think Spirit, it's not a lot of things that needed to go different for them to actually win this game. I feel like we mentioned it already, but the way they recovered Ember's game with, like, some really clutch moves, because I don't think it's just Laurel. It's something they do as a unit, and they're really good at helping him find his footing back into the game. And in this game in particular, I think it was when you saw the Slark TP down to the bottom lane, they opened up the mid tower, it ends up actually favoring Laurel, I think, this whole rotation that they do there. And it's because of Collapse's pressure. And they're just, I think Spirit are really good at finding these key moments. And unfortunately, the game breaks for them when I think Yatoro gets smoked on and they lose the first Roshan. I think that really is the key moment that closed the game for Vision. But if you're playing a game like this, it feels really close.
No, 100%. Collapse is a special shout out to him because I think he played incredible this game. I think one of the only players in the world that could play the way he did, buying Blink first, finding so many kills, and still having solid net worth, making space for Laurel, making space for the rest of his team to farm and catch up. Like, Yatoro had no pressure on him for such a huge portion of this game. It was honestly an incredible performance that ends up not working out, but I still have hope for them for the rest of the series.
Yeah, I look at Vision, everything that they were able to do for themselves, and it is hard to pick a player or a hero that stood out just that little bit above because they were all doing everything they needed to do. This Slark is supposed to win lane, it does it. This Nature's Prophet is supposed to be able to either get on the back line, shut down whatever Yatoro wants to do, and Satanic played that beautifully. The supports are the ones where I always like to draw my attention a little bit more, Mira, because normally they do make or break, but in this game, it felt like they were kind of just there, almost in a way that we could have seen Vision succeed with a multitude or a plethora of different heroes for themselves.
Yeah, Vision are so good at enabling Satanic within their drafts and their support picks and creating situations where he's at least 3k net worth ahead of anyone else in the game very early on. And even if situations happen in the game, like when Collapse got his Blink Dagger and started to find kills, even if this happens and they lose a little bit of grip on the game, they still have their carry 3k net worth ahead of anyone else. And it gives them that security and that failsafe where when the games slow down, it feels comfortable for them always. And Vision are looking really scary because of that. They've consistently picked Nature's Prophet. Teams have tried to counter Nature's Prophet, and he still wins with it.
We're going to talk about those later portions of the game in a little bit, but for now we wanted to look more towards what that earlier part entailed for Vision and how they were able to find a lead and a success for themselves in those lanes. The person walking us through that is Paj.
Thank you, Nat. Yeah, these drafts have been very instrumental, not just in this series, but lots of other ones. We saw the Slark versus Ember matchup earlier in the Liquid series yesterday, actually. But let's take a look at the laning stage. It wasn't just that matchup. It was also this cool Ogre pick. Last pick, Ogre. Not very often your support gets to pick last, but what he's doing for his team is he's giving Bloodlust to the best player in the world, Satanic. And that extra attack speed and that extra movement speed allows him to bully the crap out of his opponents. And it also allows him to potentially get first blood here. They do a nice sprout into a fire blast with some right-click rundowns. That's how they got the first kill. And then as the lane continues, it's the same kind of story. The Night Stalker's getting hit like 6 times every time he might have one opportunity to get a last hit. So he gets bullied out of the lane, and generally really good starting farm for Satanic. But again, Team Spirit did do a good job stabilizing. But Slark is the guy that we need to talk about. He's the little fish in the room, basically. There's some small changes to the hero that you might not be up to date at, but he's got a new ability, his third one here. It basically steals regen from his opponents and gives it to himself. And his old passive is actually right here. It's near an innate. So he just gets this for free. So his melee trades are disgusting. So when you lane him against a hero like Ember Spirit, you're basically putting your regen down to 0 whenever Slark hits you. And that's going to make a bad outcome for you in your game. Take a look at this. 0 HP regen per second as he gets hit by Slark. So he basically can't lane in this matchup here, which makes his CS very, very bad. And even at the 6-minute mark, they're ready to pressure. The net worths right now are already looking kind of bad, and them diving into this tower, killing the Undying, backing and taking the tier 1. They got what they wanted out of this early game. They would have loved to have more kills, certainly, but this is basically the hero matchups that we need to be looking for in further matchups if there is an Ember Spirit that shows up, because it will get you off to a really bad early start.
Thank you so much, Pudge. We've spoken multiple times about the theory behind a Slark coming up against an Ember, and whilst it did happen in groups, seeing it here in the main stage get picked the way it did, they're trying to close out their second phase in the draft, be able to protect it as much as they can with the remaining bans they do, but at the end of the day, it felt like they didn't even really necessarily have to do that. I would love to see Spirit focus up a bit more on lanes, because remember, we do see that Night Stalker struggle up against the Nature's Prophet, but later on, what was it, around the 14-15 minute mark, still have so much impact, so we could see the ideas behind what Miposhka was talking about, what the teams wanted for themselves.
Yeah, it did look like a really rough lane for Collapse, but what that hero is able to achieve in that game